What if I told you Krishna is already speaking to you right now, and you've been missing every single sign? Not because you don't believe, not because you're not spiritual enough, but because nobody ever taught you what his guidance actually looks like in real life. Most people think divine guidance only comes in dramatic moments. A vision, a miracle, a voice from the sky. But the Bhagavad Gita tells us something completely different. Krishna didn't shout at Arjuna from a distance. He sat beside him, quietly, personally, and spoke directly into his confusion. And he's doing the same with you. Today, here are the 5 signs Krishna is already guiding your life, and what to do when you notice them. Sign 1. The sudden urge to stop. In chapter 10, verse 10, Krishna says something most people walk right past. He says, "To those who are constantly devoted and who worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me." He doesn't say he might guide you. He doesn't say he'll consider it. He says he gives understanding. Actively, continuously, to you. The guidance is already happening. The only question is, are you recognizing it? Sign number 1. You felt a sudden urge to stop, and you listened. You were about to say something in anger. You were about to make a decision out of fear. You were about to go somewhere. And something inside you said, wait. Not a loud voice, just a quiet pull. A hesitation you couldn't explain. Most people call that instinct. Or overthinking. But the Gita calls it something else entirely. In chapter 6, verse 19, Krishna describes the steady mind as a lamp in a windless place that does not flicker. That stillness, that sudden pause before a mistake, that's not random. That's your inner self, which Krishna calls the antaryami, the one dwelling within, pressing the brakes on your behalf. Next time you feel that unexplained hesitation, don't ignore it. That might be the most important moment of your day. Sign number 2. Everything around you was falling apart, and somehow, you felt okay. Not numb, not in denial, just, strangely, quietly at peace. Like something was holding you even when nothing made sense. You didn't earn that peace. You didn't meditate your way to it. It just arrived. In chapter 2, verse 66, Krishna says, "There is no wisdom for the unsteady, and there is no meditation for the unsteady, and for one without meditation, there is no peace." But here's the flip side of that verse. When peace does arrive without explanation, when calm floods your heart in the middle of your storm, that is Krishna's steadiness being extended to you directly. Philippians calls it peace beyond understanding. The Gita calls it prasad, divine grace. Different words, same truth. If you've had a moment recently where you felt unexplainably calm in a situation that should have broken you, don't just move past it. Receive it. Recognize it. It didn't come from nowhere. Sign number 3. A person showed up at exactly the moment you needed them. Maybe it was a friend who called out of nowhere. A stranger who said one sentence that changed your entire perspective. A mentor who appeared right when you were about to give up. You said, what a coincidence. But the Gita has no concept of coincidence. In chapter 4, verse 11, Krishna says, "As people approach me, so do I receive them. All paths lead to me." Krishna works through people. He always has. Arjuna didn't receive guidance through a burning bush or a bolt of lightning. He received it through a person who sat beside him on a chariot. The people Krishna sends don't always arrive with a halo. Sometimes they arrive with a cup of chai and the exact words you needed to hear. Don't overlook the human messengers. They are never accidental. Sign number 4. You had a near miss, and you walked away untouched. A car accident that should have been worse. A business deal that fell apart right before you signed. A relationship that ended and you later realized that was the best thing that could have happened. At the time it felt like loss, like failure, like bad luck. But looking back, something protected you from something far worse. In chapter 18, verse 58, Krishna gives Arjuna this promise. "If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all obstacles of conditioned life by my grace." His grace doesn't always look like blessings. Sometimes it looks like a closed door, a missed opportunity, a narrow escape you almost didn't notice. Stop calling your close calls bad luck. Start asking, what was I just protected from? Because the Gita is clear. Protection is not occasional. It is constant for those who walk with awareness. And finally, sign number 5. This is the one most people dismiss completely, but it might be the most powerful of all. A verse found you at exactly the right moment. You weren't looking for it. You scrolled past something, heard something, a friend quoted it randomly, and it stopped you completely. It felt like it was written specifically for your situation, specifically for that day, specifically for what you were carrying in your heart that nobody else knew about. That's not coincidence. That's not the algorithm. In chapter 10, verse 11, Krishna says, "Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance." He destroys the darkness from the inside, using a lamp, using light, using a verse, a word, a line that lands at the exact moment your heart was finally quiet enough to receive it. The Gita didn't come to you by accident. This video didn't find you by accident. Something, or someone, placed it in your path. Here's the truth that ties all of this together. Krishna's guidance is not a historical event. It's not something that only happened on a battlefield 5,000 years ago. It is happening right now, in your daily hesitations, your unexpected peace, your timely encounters, your narrow escapes, and the words that find you when you need them most. Chapter 18, verse 65. The last personal promise Krishna makes to Arjuna and to you. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, bow down to me. So shall you come to me. I promise you truly, for you are dear to me. You are not walking through this life without guidance. You never were. The signs are already there. Now you know what to look for. If this opens something in you today, share it with someone who needs the reminder. And if you want more wisdom from the Gita decoded for your real life, subscribe to Gita Unlocked. Because Krishna is still speaking. The only question is, are you listening?